Hello everyone, my name is Ahmet Tabrizi. As you can see on the screen, I'm going to talk about deep learning applications for COVID-19, and this presentation is about a review study that briefly discuss the development of deep learning method in order to solve COVID-19 challenges. As you can see on the screen, I will start with introduction, and also I will cover materials and methods. Briefly, I will talk about computer vision in medical imaging and also deep learning. After that, I will talk about deep learning, medical image analysis techniques in COVID-19. I will briefly discuss about the development of computer-aided diagnosis system that use deep learning and the achievements that they obtained during this pandemic event, and I will conclude my presentation in conclusion section. One of the greatest challenges in current century is the COVID-19 disease. It was December 2019 when a new variety of coronavirus disease called COVID-19. As WHO says, PCR must be used to confirm the entire diagnosis. In addition to medical imaging and PCR, CT scan images had turned into the crucial technique to facilitate the management and diagnosis of COVID-19 patients. Furthermore, AI or artificial intelligence technique can drive unique graphical characteristic of COVID-19 and present the clinical diagnosis, and as a result, leading to solving and saving time and solving this problem in order to control this disease. The artificial intelligence method occupied with deep learning system based on medical imaging have been developed to extract image characteristics to determine the nature of recognized disease through the CT images. Given all mentioned facts, we present a brief study review that concentrates on improvement of image-based technological resolution with a special emphasis on deep learning. In summary, I can summarize the major contribution of this study as below. Our research makes a brief review on COVID-19 applications via deep learning lens. We present a brief computer vision list of recent developed deep learning methods, especially concentrated on COVID-19 studies. This research examines the prevailing constraints, their impact, and resolution to tackle this problem. Generating precise model that can classify and detect various objects in an image has remained an essential challenge in computer vision. Given the recent progression in computer vision model and deep learning, it's easier to develop medical application of image detection than ever before. This model can recognize the various objects in an image and extract feature and learn to distinguish the object in image. By the way, the chest imaging has a crucial function in determining the infection of COVID-19 disease, and this leads to better diagnosis. Due to the fact that COVID-19 became a pandemic event and majority of people in countries have to deal with this disease, The management of patients and people who want to test the situation, their situation, is a really complicated task, and deep learning algorithm can use CT images in order to play their role in in dealing with this pandemic event. And for this reason, the development of computer-aided diagnosis system regarding to deep learning method become more pivotal than the past. And for this reason, we consider well-known databases in order to find best possible papers that published by well-known publishers like Elsevier, Springer, and we consider Scopus, this database, Web of Science database, and also Google Scholar in order to find these papers, and we classify and provide our taxonomy regarding these 25 paper, and we classify them based on their methods, and we consider the data sets, we present them, and the objects that they follow for the paper. And you can access to our manuscript or published paper in order to read them and find them. And in this presentation, I just mentioned this, and you can read them because the table become really, in terms of size, high, and it is not possible to show it in the slides. And I prefer to mention it that it's possible to access them directly. And in discussion section, I want to talk about the achievement of this review. After our review and considering all literature, it becomes clear to us that deep learning and medical image processing have a crucial role in fighting the COVID-19, and various studies have been carried out on COVID-19, and they use deep learning and develop computer-aided diagnosis system by using medical images related to CT scan images of COVID patients. And we can conclude that this review summarizes recent efforts on the COVID-19 detection considering deep learning, and also given all considered the studies, we assume that the use of image processing and deep learning techniques and also some techniques like machine learning, data science, or some other can present effective solution to overcome the COVID-19 outbreak. Finally, I wish that our study become useful reference and induces numerous novel studies on deep learning and processing of medical images on a battle against the COVID-19 virus outbreak. Wish you all the best, and if you have any question about the presentation or paper, I'm ready to answer your question, and thanks.